Oh my Lord. Okay, okay. All right. People are starting to come in. Emma, I don't feel like you're trying hard this week. I really don't think you're trying hard. Nico, I don't think you're trying hard enough this week. Find better backgrounds. Let's go. You have time. Not everybody's.
What is your background, Emma?
It's my history textbook.
I thought it looked like a textbook.
It's just a picture I took like a few years ago.
It's in your hair. It's
I know,
so
but I'm wearing it down. I'm wearing it down for the girls.
I like it, but I haven't seen it this long in ages.
I know.
Mine is the best.
Oh, I miss you.
Mine is the best. My background's the best.
Look, change your background. That's old. We did that last week. Find another way to offend us. Did you say hi to your Aunt Janet?
Hi.
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 Hi. So Sebastian, last week when you were on it, you were like poking a sword into a mattress.
Yeah,
Oh my
I was trying to sword fight. Yeah, I was pretty bored.
A separate mattress in your room?
Yeah.
Does that
My
mean
mom wanted to bring it to
bed?
Ventura.
Okay, put the pillow down.
Does that mean
What?
You can't hear you because you have a pillow.
Speak louder.
Hi, Todd.
Does that mean that your parents got you a new bed? Nico's your background now, Susan.
No, it does not mean his parents got him a new bed.
His dad.
His father got him a new bed.
Is it because we took you bed shopping?
Oh, it's you then. Oh, here I've been blaming my husband.
He told us how much we were at
Should
the
have known.
and he told us how much he wanted one, and he started testing beds.
Wait, okay, the rule is you can't repeat backgrounds. You can't repeat backgrounds. No, you can't repeat backgrounds. Okay.
Go.
We're not doing this again. I'm gonna mute y'all. I can't even. Okay, you're muted. I can't even.
I won't talk about
Uh-oh, I think I might have muted Todd. Hey,
Tell me
Emma.
about the bed.
Yeah.
Okay. Emma, you're outside, Emma.
Yeah, I'm at the park. There's no one here though.
Right, because everyone's distancing.
Yeah. I haven't even like touched anyone though, so it's fine.
You're recording already, Sue.
What?
You're recording.
Yeah. Well, I've decided that I'm learning how to edit.
Turn down your volume a little.
I'm learning how to edit because the other ones are funny, but I think they're only funny to me. Hey, Emma, I thought Caitlin was going to join us.
I don't know where she is.
Because I was going to show y'all my hair.
Ooh.
I know, look. I did the Caitlin braids. Y'all can't really see it, can you?
Oh, she'd be proud.
Well, no, the thing is that, hey, guess what? I'm going pink tomorrow. Well,
Kirsten's dyeing hers too.
Huh?
Kirsten's dyeing hers some color again too.
Well, what color is she going?
I don't know. You'll have to ask her. She's done pink. She's done purple. She's done all sorts of ones.
Well, I have this.
You'll have to ask her. I know nothing about it.
It's called Arctic Fox.
Oh.
I know.
My sister really wants to dye her.
I got it. What can I say? I got it. Woo!
Are you doing your whole head or just part?
Kirsten.
She's dyeing her hair color tomorrow, Kirsten.
What?
Susan's dyeing her hair pink.
Nice.
Whole head or part?
Now that everybody's here, just wanna say hello to everyone. Want to remind everybody that you're being recorded, and to let everybody know that there are some 6th, 7th, and 8th grade people who do actually listen to the whole.
There are
47 minutes of the last video, so with no editing. I just want to say that I think that I'm gonna learn how to edit. And hey, Emma, if you're not talking, mute yourself.
Okay. Where's the mute right there?
Was it you? It was her. All right. So for sure. Hello, Todd. Nice to see you.
Kirsten hasn't used Zoom before, so she can't change the background, so she just changed her hair.
Okay.
I can change the background.
Text Sebastian, text Sebastian, and he will tell you. You can even text Nico, and he would tell you. Okay, so I was as shocked as all of you probably are with the fact that people other than us are actually watching this video. I had 3 of my kids comment about it this past week on Google Hangout. Had nothing to do with you, Todd. Everything to do with us. So let's get some smart Todd questions out so we can get the information flowing. I do realize that we are going to go off the rails. It's just a matter of time. But we would like to, does anybody want to talk? Because Susan Teacher is going. Kirsten, are you in? Oh, wait, you're muted. I didn't mean to mute you.
I did.
Okay, everybody's unmuted now. Even you.
Even Nico?
Okay, everyone's unmuted. Everybody is live right now.
Even me.
Yeah, okay, Nico and Sebastian, another reminder that you're unmuted.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to introduce, can y'all introduce yourselves? Because I don't think my kids know y'all. So we're recording on a grid screen, so you're not popping up when you talk. Everyone can see everybody. So, Janet.
I'm Janet. Hi. Hey, Todd.
That's my sister-in-law. And then there's, on the bottom, there's my niece, Kirsten.
How do I do that?
What's up?
There's Kirsten. She's the one with the bunny ears. Yes. And then, of course, we have the lovely Emma in the center of our screen. Hello, Emma. Are you still muted, Emma?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we have the man of the video, my brother, Todd Randheim. All right. We started this. Hello, Todd. Welcome back.
Hi, sis.
I feel like I feel like I'm Drew Carey right now. I'm super excited. Okay, so this is the 6th installment of our CoronaCation Chronicles. We started this because I was scared spitless about this CoronaCation that was happening to all of us, and I called my brother Todd, who's a blah 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 virologist, and I see we've been joined by the beautiful and wonderful Penny. Hello, Penny. Okay. So Todd, thank you so much for explaining. So the aunt sent out a video from YouTube about washing their groceries. Have you seen it?
This was the gray-haired, long-haired
Penny.
hippie from Michigan. And
I kindred spirit.
it was totally ridiculous.
I found Penny.
Okay, I have to say the cereal box was brilliant. You just open the box and pour out and you're fine. Okay, so
My favorite was the bread, ripping open the package and dumping the bread loosely into another package.
so Kirst, have you seen the video?
I haven't. No.
Okay, so while
You
Todd
don't
is
want
telling us
to.
how it's ridiculous, I'm gonna send it to you. So, Dr. Todd, why is the nurse video so ridiculous?
Well, I think he said he was a doctor, and he was saying he's under a lot of stress with the coronavirus, and I can understand that. So I think from that standpoint, I'll forgive him for, some of the liberties he took with what he called sterile technique. Sterile technique is something that we use in laboratories and doctors use in operating rooms to make sure they don't put any, bacteria or anything into either a person in the case of a doctor or us in the laboratory. We don't want to put things into our medicines or, into our experiments. So it's sterile technique is something that's used under very specific circumstances. But the man in the video, that was him.
That's him. It's called PSA Safe Grocery Handling and Fast Food Handling. Careful on it. Okay, go ahead. Here comes Kirsten. So why is it so crazy, Todd?
Well, I think it's complete overkill for where we are right
I thought it was a
now.
little.
Sorry, I had to sneeze.
It's okay. I thought it was a. Oh, are you okay?
Yeah.
I thought it was a little psychological warfare-ish kind of stuff, but.
Yeah, I mean, he was overblowing the risk a little bit. I mean, you know, at one point he said, "Oh, keep your groceries in your car or garage for 3 days before you bring them inside." And, you know, if you went shopping, you probably need some of that stuff. And so you shouldn't be leaving it outside for 3 or 4 days. Now, if you're one of those people who's bought 50 rolls of toilet paper, yeah, some of that you can probably leave outside. But for everything else, you can bring it in, you know, fairly easily.
If we left our groceries outside for 3 days here in New Orleans, number one, we wouldn't have groceries, and number two, it would rot.
Yeah,
I guess that's
pretty
just the
nasty.
Michigan thing, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, what he was saying is, you know, he was talking about the fact that the virus can live on, you know, cardboard, plastic, metal for, you know, certain days. And, you know, what sterile technique is a lot of times when we're making a medicine and we have like a jar that we want to put it in, what we do is we wrap the jar in 2 bags, we double bag it, and then you sterilize it, you know, either by heating it or putting gamma radiation through it. And then what you do is when you want to bring it into a place that's clean, you wipe the outside of 1 bag. And if you do this, you need to be wearing gloves, which he was not doing. So everything that's on his hands, he's then transferring. So when he was, like you
Well,
saw.
he said he washed his hands. He said he washed his hands.
Still, it doesn't matter. You can't get everything off your hands.
So would it be preferable if I wore my gloves, my garden gloves?
No.
No. I mean, I know it's got dirt that's not infected with the Rona. Like,
They say you cross-contaminate when you wear the gloves.
well, sorry. I was just being ridiculous. Just to
They
make sure
say you
everybody.
cross-contaminate with keeping the same gloves on.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. I have. Oh, I'm touching. Okay, so
Anyway,
I thought, like, my brother Bo picked apart the whole entire video in text message, so it took me about 2.5 hours to talk to Bo about the whole message. But I think that the reason I said it was psychological warfare was because of the ants. I got sent that video by Aunt Margaret and Aunt Meryl. Sent me that, and I think that that's exactly his audience, right? He wants to give them the illusion that they're safe. Like, I think Aunt Margaret, it takes her hours to put her groceries away.
And that's a little bit surprising if Aunt Margaret is following a ton of that, because she worked in laboratories for many years. I think she's very familiar with sterile technique in a laboratory.
And I think that she is, and I think that that's the deal, is that she is doing the sterile technique. Sterile, but it's like she's doing the 2-week grocery. Right, okay. And so I do believe that they are like very Ziploc bags in their food or something like that. You know, yeah, I think that they're very scared. They're very nervous about getting sick and dying. I mean, I get it, right?
Yeah, and I think it depends. I mean, I think for all of us, I think it's overkill. But for something like the ants, if they want to take precautions, I think that's fine. You know, I think this guy wasn't showing good precautions on how he did this. And I think he was overblowing it. But you can, you know, like he dumped all his oranges into soapy water in a sink and like washed them. You know, I don't think that's necessary. I think if you want to rinse off your fruit, it's a good idea to rinse most of your fruit anyway. to get pesticides and everything else off of them. So I don't think you need to dump them in soapy water, though. Especially like
veggie wash.
Mike says always wash your produce.
What?
Mike says it's dumb to only wash your produce during this outbreak time.
Always wash it.
This is Mike.
Always wash your produce.
Oh, well. It's so
That's
nice to see you. I'm so glad show Mike I dressed up. Like, I dressed up.
Well, this is Mike, and he is a produce manager for a major grocery chain. So he says always wash your produce.
Yeah.
I love the fact that you refrained from brand endorsement during my video on Mike's store. So thank you for being so thoughtful, Kirsten, as usual.
Well, it's only in like the north, so it wouldn't even matter for everyone in New Orleans.
Just to quote your dad,
brand endorsing my company.
I know, but when we go viral, said my brother the first time, because this is going viral.
No, it's not.
For sure. Okay, so hey Mike, nice to see you. I really am curious about, I do have actually a list of things I want to talk to you about, and I know that sounds very un-Susan, like, Katie, really late to the party, Katie, late to the party. Anyway, all right. Okay, so Todd, we're talking about, like, I sent that video of the nurse, doctor, wonderfully throwback doctor from Michigan to the people around me, AJ and Mr. Joe, because I give them food, and I wanted to settle their nerves about getting food from my house. And when I know I'm giving something to them, so basically the coronavirus is something that I touch. It's not something that I cook and feed people with, right? Number one.
It will die during the cooking process.
Okay, how'd you get muted? You're not supposed to.
No, that's all right. I'm muting because Janet and I are in the same room, and we're going to have feedback if one of us isn't on mute at certain times. So I was saying that, I think the virus is killed pretty quickly by cooking. So you have no worries about any cooked food.
So it is the container and it's the container. So if I pick up a Clorox wipe, and I wipe everything down and I carry it to them with the wipe in my hand.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So, I mean, two things about that. Yeah. Cleaning the outside of things with Clorox wipes will work. And two, if you still have Clorox wipes, why aren't you selling them on eBay for hundreds of dollars?
Because I care about the old people in my neighborhood.
Okay.
Giving them away.
Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous. I think that I have 250 canisters of Clorox wipes in my classroom at Lesher Charter School at this time.
Order.
I got the hookup if not.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you do. I am sure you do. Okay, so I know I got that. Okay, so the next thing I want to say is, hello, lovely ladies. Caitlin, I'm just so glad that you could join us today.
I thought we were doing it at 5.
Yeah, so did I. I think that we just, yet again, so I just pause the video, everyone that's watching this that's not in the family. So when I send a text that says, so it's my time or your time, like, sometimes you answer it and you say, hey, my time, or hey, your time, but no one answered. So,
there are official time zones that were.
Yeah, I always forget about that.
Where am I right now? Kate? Where am I right now? Kirsten,
Greenwich
where am I right now?
Central, and then we're in Eastern.
Central.
Oh,
and Mountain, and then.
Okay. I'm paused. So this is when I start my editing. Next time. I do know how to edit. Okay, Katie, I'll pick you up after the video with Uncle Todd. We're trying to be very. Oh, that's there. Janet's just showing how interesting.
$2.
Our beautiful girls, Emma and Katie, who are juniors, we're thinking about coming down to New Orleans for spring break, which is just a few days away. And as we all know on this video, that New Orleans and New York are epicenters of the coronavirus. So Todd, would you like to insert some sanity into the idea
I think
people coming here?
I think you're better off you going to New York, because the New Yorkers are being hunted right now. I think Janet's sitting there
Yeah. In
saying
Rhode Island, they are.
that in Rhode Island, they're going
Yeah.
door to door trying to find New Yorkers and send them back. So if you don't hunt it down like wild dogs, I think you should not leave New York and go somewhere else. Because Katie and Emma may not know it, but they had microchips planted in them.
Okay, you
when they
have
were
to
young
say that
kids.
again, because I have no clue what you just said. Shut
Emma, mute your
Sorry.
thing.
Emma. Okay, go again, Todd. Like, I know that there's zombie apocalypse. They're hunting down. They're hunting down New Yorkers. For what?
They're hunting down New Yorkers in Rhode Island to get them out of Rhode Island, because these New Yorkers, they just bring virus and plague and destruction wherever they go.
Those Mainers are doing the same thing with their little islands.
See?
Those Mainers are saying, no, second home owners, you will not pass.
They're doing that in North Carolina for 3 weeks.
Yeah, at Nags Head, I was reading about Nags Head too. It's absolutely the same thing. I agree with them. I'm just going to say this like, that's why I'm not living in Mansura right now. Who am I to bring my cooties,
Exactly.
my New Orleans cooties to Mansura? However, what a great segue.
You're on mute.
The idea of the New York people coming down to New Orleans in the next 10 days. Or Fishville. Actually, it's Fishville. It's not New Orleans.
And I think in a lot of places also, they're trying to enforce, if, the New Yorkers, if they would leave New York and go somewhere else, when they go back, they're supposed to self-quarantine for 2 weeks. So that if they picked anything up while they're gone, they get rid of it, or they get sick while, they're self-quarantining at home.
I was just gonna lobby for the girls to just stay with me until we can go to Wyoming this summer, but I know I know that that's not gonna probably happen.
Yeah.
So you think it's
have
okay?
Bo too.
Huh?
You'd have Bo that long too.
Oh no, he'd go back. Like he would. So Todd, so it's okay for Katie and Bo and Emma to drive down here or fly down here?
It's not okay for Bo.
Thank you, Kirsten, for keeping it real. So
I think at this point in time, with the infections the way they are in New York and New Orleans, I think it's best to not do a lot of traveling, because I think if you're going to run into people who are scared just because of your actions, even if you've not seen anyone and not left your house for 2 weeks, the people you're seeing don't know that. And so I think there's always a little bit of nervousness. So, I think maybe not for yourself, but for everybody around you, people will be more comfortable if you don't do that.
well, we're on day 16 here in New Orleans that we've been sheltering in place. Day 16. I think I'm looking pretty good with my crazy hair, Katie. Tribute to you. Katie, tribute to you. Yeah. So you think that if the New York Ranheims and the New Orleans Ranheims met in Fishville, Louisiana, that's a bad idea?
I wouldn't say. It depends. I mean, if the two families are only going to see each other, and then when they go home, they're not going to see other people for 2 weeks, then everybody would say it's fine.
And they guarantee they don't get sick and need the hospitals around Fishville.
Right. Yeah, because what people are worried about too is if you get sick, like if you bring it to Fishville, does Fishville have a hospital in Pineville or Alec?
Look, man, I'm going to tell you right now, ain't nobody up in this place thinking they're going to stop anywhere in Grant Parish for anything during this CoronaCation. I have all of my food in my car. I have everything I need in my car. Ain't nobody stopping. I'm not even going to Mansur. I'm going to swing through Mansur. I'm going to Fishville, but I'm swinging through Mansur and getting what I need to get, which we won't go into. But I'm bringing everything with me. Like, I'm not even dealing with anything. I might pick up a gun from Mr. Brewer. People, okay, that's going to get edited out. That's going to get edited out.
You don't know how to edit.
I do know how to edit. I'm going to put, let's not talk about it. Let's not talk about it.
Okay.
So Todd, like, I'm not going to infect the creek. Like, there's nothing bad that's going to happen to the cabin. Nobody's been in that cabin. I can't get infected in the cabin. So the girls and Bo, theoretically, you guys could even come directly to Fishville and not contact anybody. Okay, go Janet. I know you.
How would they go directly to Fishville without stopping for gas, bathrooms, etc. across the?
That's what a bottle's for.
No Chevron.
You can't really drive 24 hours without making stops.
Okay, so Sebastian, we're not going to repeat the bottle comment. Okay. Katie, you're muted.
And bottles don't give you gas.
No. You get one of those like gas things, and then like when you get close, you pull the side of the road, and then pour that, and then.
I get it for the peeing, Sebastian, but how are they going to get gas in the vehicle to keep the vehicle moving?
Yeah, but you know those like the canisters full of gas, right?
That's not enough. That's like 3
you
gallons.
put a couple in there.
Gifted. He's gifted. I just want to remind everybody he's gifted.
Yeah.
See, but no. But this is New Orleans gifted, so that's like mid-level everywhere else.
Mid? Where did you get mid from?
Yeah, probably lower, honestly.
Hello.
Calculate gas for the distance.
Okay, if there's any of my children from school who are actually watching this video right now, I just need to let you know that I love you all, and I think you all are fabulous learners, and you're super smart in your own smart way. All right. Moving forward, ixnay on the insult A. All right.
Uncle Todd.
Yeah, I would say, my comment about gifted is there's a lot of gifted people who don't do well in the world, and there's a lot of just average people who do quite well in the world. And, I'm sure that guy in the video was gifted, the guy from Michigan. And, look what happened to him. I mean,
I love that. Like,
he's washing his fruit for 5 minutes in soapy water.
We came full circle for that one. That's good stuff. That's good cheese. Okay, Katie, it looked like you wanted to make a comment about coming to Fishville for spring break. Maybe I'm putting words in your mouth, but I thought that you had that expression on your face. Do you want to respond to us about taking your life into your hands just for a creek?
I don't know. Personally, it's been 2 weeks and I'm kind of going crazy in this house. And it would suck if I couldn't travel anywhere. That's all I'm saying. Because, yeah, I would really like to go somewhere else besides this house. So.
No,
Wow,
it's
that's got a lot of levels to it.
Everybody has to, different situations are different. And I like Janet's background. Good job, dear.
Thanks,
Come on, Kirsten, get on it.
Thank you, Sabo.
Come on.
Did you figure it out?
I don't think I've updated my app recently enough to change my background.
But for the traveling part, everything is about risk and who you're seeing and who you're around and who's going to notice what you're doing and be concerned about it. So I think you have to take all of that into account, when you make decisions about whether you're going to travel and how you travel.
So,
right now, I think airplanes, I mean, the problem with airplanes is you can't count on your itinerary. I mean, my travel, I still have my flight. I haven't canceled it for the reunion in April. And they've already changed it, and they've made a stop, and it's going to be like 7 hours now.
Extra, 7 hours extra.
So, I mean, I'm not taking that flight. We're going to cancel it eventually, but at the same time, it's hard to predict how you're going to be treated on an airplane, and how many different airports you may have to go through to get where you're going, because they are changing these things around.
well, number one, I find that airplane companies tend to be a hot topic for me. So I'm going to have to say, I'm not going to comment about this airplane bailout stuff. So I'm going to go into this. So what I'm hearing from you, Dr. Todd, is that it's not a health concern. It's more of a perception concern, is what you're saying.
Well, it's like I said, it's a risk.
For us, like for the individuals that are in my family that are thinking of getting together, right?
Yes.
For
Definitely.
us, it's not a health concern.
Right. I mean, you don't know if you've been infected by, anybody else, or your grocery store, or your oranges that you washed for only 30 seconds instead of 12 hours, like the guy in the video.
Yeah.
So, but you don't know, how it's going to work. But for most of us, if we're not, have heart problems, lung problems, other infections, what I've heard is overweight, diabetes, heart problems, and some lung diseases like COPD are the main risk factors, for people with, COVID-19. So none of us that I'm aware of, maybe one of us has a hidden risk factor, but none of us, I don't believe, are in that category. And so if you're just interacting, Susan, you with your kids in the cabin, and if Bo and Emma and Caitlin can get there and, not get turned into a corona zombie, then you're fine.
I think that the girls would look great as corona zombies. I think that we all would actually probably be pretty darn good zombies. I think that one of the things that I've noticed is the perception part of this virus, right? Not necessarily health. Like, I thought my son had a question about, son?
What?
About, like, males and females in the...
That was your question.
No, but you make a good point, Susan. There is a lot of issues with perception. And there's also a lot of people calling out other people, which needs to stop. In this video, I've probably touched my glasses and my face 4 or 5 times. And, if some of your students see that, they could say, oh my gosh, he touched his face. But, I'm washing my hands. I've not been out of the house all day. I've not come into contact with anyone. And, under these circumstances, I don't think there's a risk. But, some people are like, wow, he touched his face. And, I think that we need to be a little bit more tolerant and forgiving of other people, and also, talk about our situation, our risk, but don't try to judge or give other people excessive amounts of advice on how they're handling things.
Well, you can talk to everybody right now. Sure. Nico says he's leaving y'all. He
Why is he
never can
leaving?
talk to any of y'all, and so he feels excluded and bullied by his mother. Oh, can you say something? Can you at least say bye to everybody?
Bye.
Okay, can you tell your joke?
Spell IHOP.
I didn't hear the joke.
Sebastian, repeat the joke for him.
I didn't hear him. I think
He
you're the only
said,
one that
spell IHOP.
IHOP. IHOP. Oh, Emma's home.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay. So, okay, wait, I have one more. Todd, you're really doing a great job. Like, I really feel like we're on topic. Like, I think we're on topic.
Who knew?
What's the deal with the man versus the male? Because I unfortunately have lost now 3 people that I've known for decades in the city. And it's been extremely surprisingly emotional, right? Because it's so surprising when a 52-year-old man dies or a 67-year-old very healthy man dies. It's been a rough kind of like eye-opening, jarring experience for me. So really, is there a difference? And like the only people I know that are infected and doing bad except for one person are males.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't heard enough about that to know if there's differences. I mean, there could be. I think most people know now that there's a receptor on cells, the ACE2 receptor, that is what the virus binds to. And it may be that, those receptors are upregulated in men or things that men do. I mean, that's where the ibuprofen theory comes from, because ibuprofen upregulates the ACE2 receptor. That's why people are being told to take Tylenol instead. I haven't read reliable reports that there's, a huge difference in men and women. I'll go on to the CDC website, which is where I get my data. And many times they break it down by who has died from the disease. And they break it down by men, women, and maybe there's a tally.
Well, there is one, I'm guessing. I'm just telling you from what my world looks like here in the epicenter of New Orleans, Louisiana. I think that Steve was telling me that we're not accelerating. Like, I hope you've done a little homework, Dr. Todd, about research and everything. Like, I know I caught you off guard with the mail thing, but like, supposedly, like, I know that our epicenters are moving, right? And that's because why again? Like, why are the epicenters going all over the place? This is like a classroom question.
So what happens is it depends on the first person or persons to bring the virus to a location. So if the first person to come to New York, maybe it was someone from China, and if that location didn't have a mandatory lockdown in the place, and that person went to a concert,
or Mardi Gras. Let's just use here.
Or Mardi Gras as an example.
We had this really big party with millions of people, with international people that visited, like just a month ago. Let's just say that.
Yep. So, I mean, that's what happens typically, that you have these outbreaks and, the damage is done and the virus is probably spread before most of the cases start showing up, because it's an exponential process. So like, Emma looks, really sick right now. So it could be that, she, is kind of pasty faced and, she's a little flushed. Maybe that was from, walking, but who knows? Yeah. I don't think she's going to die anytime soon. But if she would go somewhere right now, and she was infected and she went to a rave in, Brooklyn.
Okay, I'm not ready for a rave yet. Can we say farmer's market? Can we just say farmer's market?
Yeah, if Emma still really likes Sesame Street, and she went to a Sesame Street reenactment.
On ice. Sesame
Street on ice. There we go. Sesame Street on ice.
Kirsten would still go to anything on ice.
Yeah. And she decided to dress up in a costume and pretend to be one of the, I don't know, maybe Elmo or the Cookie Monster. If she was the Cookie Monster and went around and hugging everybody, she would transmit the virus pretty well, probably.
Oh, for sure. Like, look, Mardi Gras, not only did we have Mardi Gras, but then right after Mardi Gras, they sent every single college kid that went to Mardi Gras home to their families.
Exactly.
So
spread it out.
like that just was like a sneeze, a gross, nasty sneeze across the United States of America is how I looked at that. There was no other way to do it. I get it, but it was a bleh.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Hey, when we go viral, I just want to have my little meme say, "You're welcome, America."
Yeah, I think it's tough because I'm sure the
TikTok
universities.
Don't you dare TikTok that, Katie. Okay, go ahead.
You know, I think it's tough because I'm sure the universities didn't want to either have the bad PR or the press about, you know, if there's an infection at their school and it's going through the school, they don't want to be in the news for that reason. But
They
it was
also
a
don't want to
perfect
give
way.
away, like they don't want to give back tuition.
No,
You
but
know,
at the same time, you know, you know, they wanted to send the kids home, but it was a horrible way to stop the spread. I mean, everybody should have stayed in place.
yeah.
But
Quarantined everybody for 10 days and then said, parents, come get them. But
Yep.
you know what? I was down at the Bayou. I don't think that college students and young people, no offense, Kirsten, but I don't think they know how not to congregate. Like, they would have been partying in their dorms. It's not like they would have quarantined themselves in a dorm. Like, if they said stay in the dorm, then, I mean, kegs would have rolled in and, well, right?
Tulane's also been sending out a lot of emails to the alumni list, talking about how they're handling the situation and how, like, it has nothing to do with the school, how the school is getting through it. So they're definitely thinking more about, like, how this affects
Their
the
PR.
school and the culture in general, not about the virus itself and, like, the congregation and issues like that. You know, like, it's more, like,
Can I
it's
get a
not,
question? Guys?
like, I feel like they're just trying to be like, we're handling this well, but they're not necessarily thinking through all the implications of how they're handling.
Well, it was panic, and no one knew.
Yeah, well, no one really knew, but like,
No one
they
knew
just
about
kind of panicked, and they were like, Tulane has nothing to do with this, and like they're making sure the alumni are also on board. Like, Tulane's not a part of this narrative of, you know, coronavirus outbreaks or whatever. But I've been getting a lot of emails through my alumni list.
Well, I don't know why you're still on an alumni list. Everyone knows, get off the alumni list as soon as you can. That's a PSA from Miss Ranheim, everybody. PSA.
That's my problem. That's my problem. Yeah.
Completely free.
Hey, Todd,
So we have yet another member of the family that has moseyed up to the screen.
I'm cooking dinner, all right? Shut up. Let me ask my
so am
brother.
I.
Let me ask my brother a serious question.
Sure.
You guys or people are talking about all this, like Mardi Gras as a source of spread. How do people explain the fact that this was uncontrolled and unknown for 2 months, 3 months in China, and they managed to keep it contained? With when they found it, they started containing, but it was uncontrolled for 3 months. And
I don't know if it was uncontrolled for 3 months. I mean, the
Patient
earliest
zero-
I've heard is November, late November, and then, you know, by late January, they were locking down.
They have 2 months then.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it was uncontrolled, and I think that, you know, China lies all the time about.
That's what I'm getting at. All the numbers they have now, I think, are
They're mystery numbers.
yeah. Okay.
So people were sick, probably. There was tons of, you know, since we're still not testing well, and we can talk about testing.
Well, you know what? They say that testing is super great right now. I just want y'all to know that it's super great right now.
Well, I think what we found out also when Bo left, but maybe he can hear it.
He's still cooking dinner. Trust me.
He can still hear.
Oh yeah, he does.
But the test in China has a fairly high false positive and false negative rate. And tests like this, you really don't want either one. False positive rate is when you tell someone they have coronavirus, but they don't really. So it's a false positive. So that's not horrible, because if someone self-isolates or whatever, that's fine. But a false negative rate, so if someone's sick, gets tested, and it says they're not sick, that's bad, because then they don't, they don't take as many precautions as they should. Maybe they think, oh, it's still okay for me to go to the store because I have a negative result. and instead of just quarantining themselves and having somebody else go to the store or ordering the groceries in. So false negative rates are really bad. And the Chinese test, I've heard it may have been up to a 20% false negative rate. And that does two things. I mean, it lets people circulate who have the virus, but it also underestimates how many people have it, which is also,
That's
bad
exactly
for
what they
official
want.
numbers.
But I mean, I think that that's exactly the underlying hum of what's happening across the world, is no one really wants anyone to know exactly how many people are infected right now, because now it's not really real. So I unfortunately, sometimes I do pick up the news and actually read serious stuff. I know, it's really shameful. I was reading this New York Times article. Hopefully the Dr. Todd read it also, because you're the expert. But there's like these, you have to go through, the testing is 3 tests here in the United States, but this German-based test was just 2 tests. And then the FDA, like the bureaucracy of America, kind of delayed everything. Oh, are you Googling it? You should Google it, because it was a good article. But they were talking about the false positives, I think, in my understanding of it. But the idea of there's a test that you could actually take from some other place than the United States, that you could actually, these car lines make sense. Like you could actually get in the car and drive up, and they go swab, 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 dip, dip, dip. And then 45 minutes later, you know if you're positive or not, right? That's the idea behind a test, correct? Dr. Todd?
Yeah, so
that's
there's
not
a couple
what's
of
happening.
there's a couple of tests.
Okay.
It is. There's multiple tests. And one of them is a traditional PCR, which is the polymerase chain reaction, which takes, 3 or 4 hours to do a PCR type test. And that's, once the sample's there. So in a parking lot, you can't have the equipment, and it usually takes specialized equipment. You don't have the equipment to do the PCR test. So the 5-minute one, the one that you can have in car lines, it's what's called an isothermal, which is an even temperature PCR reaction. And that one is uses, I think, fluorescent dyes, and fairly quickly, without needing the regular PCR reaction. It's a cycling temperatures, high temperature, low temperature, to create the results of the test.
So is it kind of just like a flu test or strep test, and they're just faking it?
Nope.
Like, is that what they're doing?
Nope, it's not being faked. So the 2 tests, the 5-minute test and the PCR test, are both, they take small pieces of the DNA that's matched to coronavirus, and they see whether it binds to the DNA in the sample. And so those are all looking for the presence of the virus. And then some of the flu tests are antibody tests as well, where you're looking for antibodies. And the 5-minute car test, where you're driving up, is not that.
So I just want to say that this is what happens here. Like, this is what reality is. You go and you drive to UNO at 4 a.m. thinking you're going to be the first person in line that gets a test, and you realize you're like the 25th person in line. So you get in line at UNO, and you wait all day. You wait for 6 or 7 hours, and you get to that person, and that person has the same mask on that they've had for 4 days straight. And then they're like, I'm sorry, we don't have any more tests. I'm sorry, we don't have any more tests. Or if you're lucky enough to get a test, you're on day 6, you're on day 7, you're on day 8, waiting for the results of your test. And you keep getting sicker, or hopefully you keep getting better, right? That's what reality is, right?
So,
and that's not the New York Times article. Like, I just want to put that out there. I know that none of my kids are listening right now, and no one's probably listening. But the difference between an article and what's actually happening is very far apart. I'll be quiet, Katie. I promise I'll be quiet now.
You know, I think though that the testing is good for confirmation, but it doesn't change reality. You know, if you are, I mean, I think it's for peace of mind. It's a big thing. You know, if someone has the sniffles or has a fever, and they're worried about it, it helps with peace of mind, but it doesn't change treatment right now, because unless you are, you know, a very high fever and having trouble breathing and get admitted to a hospital, they're just going to tell you to stay at home, drink fluid.
You got the flu. Like, nobody has told me anything different. Like, if I get the Rona, I know that I treat it like a flu. There's nothing I do differently than I take a little Theraflu. I take a little Tylenol. I do a little Mucinex if I'm coughing too much, and SOL, right? You're SOL at that point. Ain't nobody working for me, right?
Even if they test, even if you test positive, that's all they have to do.
Yeah.
Yep. So I think that where the test is important, you know, besides the people who would have peace of mind and knowing, yes, I have it, no, I don't. The flu is important for scientists and people who are trying to track this. So it would be great if we had, you know, widespread testing of people who are not sick. You know, so like in New Orleans right now.
Know how to get a vaccine, right? Isn't that how you get a vaccine or whatever?
But you could figure out, you know, how to do a better job of this quarantining, or how to, you know, when can we go back to schools, or when can we do things? They could take all of Lusher, if we had enough tests, which we should, test every single student, teacher, faculty, staff, whatever, test them all and see, you know, who's sick.
Let's go back. But then I went to Home Depot this morning, and that screwed everybody up. Well, I'll say this, you know, and we're almost done with this version, and then we'll just start talking as a family. But you know, Zach's been out of work now for a month, and Zachary Coco they won't even give him unemployment right now, right? And so
he should get unemployment.
Nationally, he should.
And he's supposed to get a check from the government.
Actually, 3 weeks for the stimulus check, but they've said that.
I'm gonna text him right now. I'm gonna take a video.
Kirsten just applied today. Kirsten's been out of work. Her bar's closed.
They're not throwing axes. Okay, wait. Let's finish up. But I want to talk about the axes. Okay, so Todd, before we go into family fun, because I think that's the best part. What can you sum up? Because like it has been a hard week, and people are telling me that this is not the worst week, that I've got a lot more bad weeks in front of me. And so, like, how do I keep myself, my family, and just, I don't need like my aunts, I think, like, oh shoot, can we talk about the aunt? Well, after, but like, how do I keep my street safe? Like, if it's gonna get worse, like, what do I do?
They say the more we break it and don't practice social isolation, the longer it's gonna go on. So things like the trips and non-essential travel is gonna make it longer for everyone.
Okay.
Because we're not the only family thinking of a trip, you know. If everybody does that, that's what one of the things they're sure caused it to go longer in Italy was everyone going to their second home with the mountains or the beach, and so it spread through the country.
I think
lockdown wasn't just Lombardy; it was suddenly everywhere and longer.
Right. So you keep your stinky New York germs up there, you rascally rabbits. But Todd, last word.
So I think for me, we have to just use common sense, and people don't want to hear this right now. But all the protections that you need to take, you already know, you know, and it's not washing your oranges for, 20 minutes.
Oh, yes.
You know, washing your hands, social isolation, all of the things that you should do, you already know. And I think people don't want to hear that right now, but they want something new. They want something magical, but there isn't anything. The other thing is, anybody who says they know it's going to get worse or it's going to get better is guessing. I don't think anybody really knows. So if someone's telling you, wow, it's going to be in a month, it's going to be horrible. It's, New York's going to be overrun and New Orleans is going to be overrun.
Well, I'm worried about the idea that we haven't peaked here in New Orleans, but also the idea of it going through rural America, because we have our aunts that are the lifeblood of the cocoa. Like, that's our cocoa generation, right? And they're all in one town, right? Mm-hmm. So of course CoronaCation zombies are going to hit that town first, but like, and that's where I am, right?
Yeah. And, there's a lot of factors, sooner or later, the thinking is sooner or later, we're all going to get this. And the problem is, we have an issue with our family, but from the standpoint of
just one, it's hard to believe this one. Sorry.
But there's a personal issue, and then there's a societal issue. And right now, every family should assume you're going to get the virus sooner or later. The societal issue, the reason we close schools and everything else, is to prevent the healthcare system to be overwhelmed. And there are, 2 people for every ventilator in every hospital in the country, and people are dying because they don't have access to healthcare. But, unless we delay this like 2 or 3 years, there's not going to be a vaccine. Maybe in about 6 months. So if this is a seasonal disease, in 6 months, there may be, proof that one of these therapies, either chloroquine or remdesivir or, something else, we're working at Takeda.
That chloroquine works.
Yeah, we're working, not me, but Takeda's working on a plasma therapy where they take antibodies from people who have recovered from the disease, and then you can give those to people who have it.
You tell them to come down here and take my antibodies, because as a teacher in New Orleans and all the stuff I do, I've totally survived. I'm a survivor, man. I'm a survivor. Okay. Seriously, last
want to say something.
I want to talk to y'all. Okay, what?
And I want to know, Susan, do you think you had the flu over New Year's Eve?
Maybe.
Because you were coughing at the house. And then Todd and I went back January 5th and were like hit by a truck.
I Rona'd y'all. I totally Rona'd y'all. That was me.
Well, everybody
brought it to New Orleans.
Actually had Corona, and I'm like, I don't think so. We didn't go anywhere. We think
you brought it to New Orleans. You heard it here.
The flu, but
I am Typhoid Mary of the Coronavirus here in New Orleans. Outed right here, right now. Woo.
I was hoping you said, yes, I had the flu.
I don't think I had the flu. I don't get sick. Okay, hang on. Okay, I'm going to time out like this so I know when I edit to stop it, but I can't stop recording because y'all are too funny. Watch. Okay, we're done with my classroom stuff. So it's everybody unplug, everybody can talk.
I need to step out for a couple minutes. Tell Bo that I'm smoking ribs tonight. So I have to go check the smoker.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
All right. What was the big hungry giant wanting to say, Kirsten?
What big hungry giant?
Uncle Bo. Uncle Bo. He lurks around. He's like,
I was gonna say something. I was gonna say something. You're all worried about, your aunts. Well, think of it this way: how many people were at the last reunion?
Lots
all of us, except for Jackson.
Lots of people, like majority of
how many people? Just take
like 50.
Say 100, right?
100.
Yeah, there's 100 of them.
100.
I figured only 3 or 4 of them are gonna die.
They'd all be the old people, and you know what?
No, not necessarily.
I really like the old people, really.
Not necessarily.
I don't know. I'm kind of okay. You're right. There's some of them I don't like so much.
See, that's.
They don't like me either, so it's mutual. Okay, so let's catch up. Okay.
Ask Mike questions since you get to meet Mike.
Oh, Mike. Well,
he's gone. Mike,
he's not gone. I see his shoulder moving in the background.
Mike got Corona and died.
Uh-oh, Mike.
Ask him any questions you want. Grill him.
Oh, God, Mom.
I know without a doubt that I can't be worse than my sister-in-law. Oh yeah, I said it. I said it.
I've not been bad to Mike. I've not been bad to you, have I, Mike?
It's just
I tried to change his name, but I've not been bad to him.
I can't go further. Like, you're right, Mike.
We could not hear what just was said, but
That was on purpose. So that I would hear
heard
it.
the whole thing. Anyway, so girls, you've done such a fantastic job of being such good audience members. My children don't know how to do that yet. Did you have something that you wanted to say, Caitlin? Caitlin?
Not really. I don't know.
We don't have to talk about the CoronaCation.
I was gonna dye my hair purple, but then I was like, no, don't do it.
I'm going to dye my hair purple. I have purple hair dye in the other room. I was gonna dye my hair purple. I was gonna dye my hair purple months ago, and then I got halfway through, and so now I have like blonde in the back of my. And my mom's like, "You can't dye your hair purple. You've got job interviews." And I like paused, and I was like, "That's a good point because I do have job interviews. So now I just have blonde hair that's waiting to be purple."
Well, wait, where's the blonde hair? Like, I don't
Like back here. My hair's up because
the bunny ears, right? Okay, so you people dye things.
Well,
I'm not.
no, but now that I'm gonna be an art student officially, I can have purple hair.
The coronavirus onto their head.
So
What did you say?
Here I come.
Coronavirus talks to my head. What did you say, Bo?
I was trying to be funny. It's not working. It was a stupid joke.
He's
Very
never
stupid.
funny. He should stop trying.
Well, sometimes he actually is blindingly funny, but I don't know if he intends to be funny. Like, I haven't really figured it out in all these years.
I'm only funny to the people I like.
Does Susan need to bleach?
So that becomes even stickier to actually negotiate at this point. Okay, so I was gonna go blue, but I can't go blue or red in this house. Would anybody like to know why?
Soccer.
I don't know.
Chelsea versus
Arsenal. So, and I tried to go purple, and then I was told that purple hair would make me look old.
Do your hair in
This is where we say no comment, Bo. This is the no
no,
comment.
do your hair in blue and red, like stripes, like Real Madrid. Like Real Madrid, Barcelona.
Barcelona.
Platinum blonde.
Are you doing the whole head?
The whole chimichanga, Janet.
Okay.
Oh my god. Wait, are you bleaching first?
No, that's what the whole conversation has tried to be before, because there's so many of us. Like, can I just throw this in my hair?
No, you
If I dye my hair purple, just like throwing it in my hair, see it'll do anything. It doesn't do anything.
yeah, you need to bleach it first.
Yeah, you have
Like,
to.
could I sit in the sun with some peroxide in my hair for a day?
The old-fashioned way of urine.
Dad says yes. Or you could just.
That's quarantine hair dye. That is.
It definitely works. It's age-old proven that it works.
Maybe should I do peroxide or should I do lemon juice? Which one would work better?
Dad says both.
At the same time. So I get a nice little rash around my face.
Kirsten, what do you use?
Box bleach.
Boxed bleach.
Like Clorox bleach, like powder form?
No, like a box of bleach, like literal hair bleach.
Oh.
So I just go out and buy a box. I'm not too creative. I don't.
Like
Dry my hair.
There's a box that you like. Do I walk into Walgreens and say
Yeah.
hair bleach?
There's the hair dyeing company that I used for years is called Splat, and they've got a really effective bleach.
Splat.
So it's like meant to it's meant to go with their hair dyes, but it's like a very good.
Kirsten, I'm part of the no poo movement. Like, is this gonna really screw up my no poo movement?
What's the no poo movement?
No shampoo.
Oh.
Oh, I was going to say it because I think pooing's still right?
You have to wash your hair.
Hey, Sue, I have a cheap idea for you. You can try.
Please give it to me. Give it to me.
the Easter egg die kits that they're not going to sell this year. Get them and try that. See what happens.
I love that idea. Could it work, Kirsten?
Stick your head in.
Why are people not dyeing Easter eggs?
I mean, we will.
Dyeing them?
Gather together to do anything with them.
It's an egg, not the four of you. We've done it.
Oh, like not with Mike.
Together or not. You have to still do Easter eggs.
We only do them when we go to the reunion. We
You
don't.
only do that at reunions.
Yeah, we did it last year with just BB, like
Wow.
the boys and us. Emma was in Costa Rica. We did it last year.
I think
Oh,
we've
yeah.
done it.
Oh, that's right, Emma. Oh, Emma, did you want to talk more about your trip to Costa Rica? I think maybe that we should. Emma, do you remember one fantastic thing that happened to you in Costa Rica that you would like to share with the family?
Oh, I ate termites.
I remember that.
Wow, that was a surprising fact that I didn't believe. If the one thing you could share, you would talk about eating bugs.
We went on this trail in the forest or rainforest or whatever it was, and the tour guide stopped at this tree, and there's like this trail going up it, and we're like, oh, what is that? And he's like, oh, it's termites, and he takes one off the tree and eats it. And he's like, oh, you can just eat these, and you can survive like in the forest or the woods for like a long time because they have a lot of protein.
We're gonna do that.
And he says, does anyone want to try it? And everyone looks at me and is like, oh, do you want to do it, Emma? And I'm just like, oh yeah, like kinda, yeah, I kind of want to do it. And then I took one, and they were all just like videotaping me and like, oh my god. And then I ate it, and then everyone was. And then later, because we were in like a small group, and then later when we got with the whole group, my teacher that was in the group was like, so guys, Emma ate a termite, and they were all just like, what? That's crazy.
Boss, you got
Yeah.
boss
And like
status.
everyone thought I would have the termite because like I was like for some reason I was just not like amazed by a lot of things. Like, that was like the running joke.
I
Because,
wonder
you know,
why.
I've been camping.
It's weird with your
Like
dad.
I've done everything basically. Because like
Well,
Where's the
when I was in New Zealand, I licked a tree that had hairs of nectar on its bark. That was uncomfortable when the park ranger came around the corner and watched me licking a tree, but he sort of understood. He licked part of the tree too. So it all worked out well, kids. It all worked out well. Okay, so let's do a little update. So New York people, you guys are staying in the house like we're staying in the house, or I know you're not scared because Bo's your dad, right? I get it.
North Carolina and Mass are in the house too. I think most states are.
Y'all are in the house?
Yeah, and so's Mass. I think it's like 23 states are all under it. And then like Pennsylvania is still doing county by county, but it's 2/3 of the counties. So Jackson's been in the house too.
It's the states with all the old people that aren't, right?
I'm collecting that unemployment.
Pennsylvania we're in before New Orleans.
So glad I'm paying you unemployment instead of the airlines, because I can probably start talking about the airlines soon. I'm just so upset with them.
You know, other people just need to do like I'm doing and get a new hobby while we have downtime.
He's buying a plasma torch.
What?
Go ahead. He's buying a plasma torch. He'll tell you about it.
Oh, no, that's all right. Janet will tell you all about
That's all I know.
Oh, we're used to it. We're used to it. Come on, keep going. This is like Laurel and Hardy. Keep going. So Todd, what are you doing?
Oh, he's learning how to weld. He's welding our carport.
Really? Seriously?
Yes, seriously.
I've got a new hobby.
You don't know how to weld?
Ooh, well.
And now he's going for it.
oh, is that Ravenclaw?
Yes, it's a Diamond Dots painting, but I've got a Ravenclaw crest. So it's a bunch of really tiny little dots that I'm sticking on one by one, and it's sparkly.
That's awesome.
Hey Todd, are you doing MIG welding or TIG welding?
It's a 3-in-1 cutter, a TIG welder, and a stick arc welder.
Oh, okay.
Why? Which do you do?
I used to do TIG welding.
I took a class in TIG. I don't have an argon tank to do TIG welding though.
Well, I did it when I was working at Stony Brook, so I was like,
Yeah. Next time you're down here, you can show me how to TIG weld then.
oh, I haven't done that in years. I could do it badly.
Hey, what the heck?
We can weld the door shut.
What'd you say?
We can weld the door shut.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, what's going on?
Dinner.
What am I cooking for dinner? I'm doing a double dinner tonight. I have enchiladas, and I'm also doing chicken and dumplings because I got to get rid of some chicken. So chicken enchiladas.
Combination.
Well, it's for the future. You know, I have to get rid of the chicken. It's either use it or lose it.
Yeah, that's how we are these days. Okay, so thanks everybody. So Kirsten, do you have anything more to share than I do doodle art? Congratulations, by the way, from our whole entire family for getting into your grad program.
Thank you. No, I'm doing diamond art. One, I'm doing a lot of art.
I know, I've seen all your stuff. I've seen your all your
making art and collecting unemployment checks because I'm unemployed for the foreseeable future.
And I'm so glad that some money is going to people who actually worked hard for their money. So,
and she's also keeping track and taking good care of my tomatoes that I started growing and thought I was only going to be away from for a week. In about a month.
Yeah.
I've gone crazy crunchy woman. I know that surprises everyone. And I've started a whole entire garden in the back. And Steve keeps saying, you know, you still want to go see Old Faithful. And I'm like, what's that about, girls? I saw that, Katie.
We were just wondering where Steve has been. Haven't seen him.
He's power washing right now. Like,
it's a Corona-related activity. By the way, Sue, if your summer plans get scooched all to hell, you can start planning with me. Next year, we're going to Namibia.
Oh, I know.
Why am I going to Namibia?
Namibia?
Yeah.
You want to come, you can come. Going on safari.
What's in Namibia that I want to go and see?
Look it up. Lots of sand, desert, Victoria Falls. We can go to the Devil's Whirlpool.
Oh, I think there are gorillas up around there.
Well, there could be too. I don't know. They're usually in Congo. But
no, they're in Rwanda.
Rwanda, Congo.
Wakanda?
Like, I feel stupid right now. Right?
Wakanda. Yeah, they're in Wakanda.
Wait, when are you going to Namibia? I want to go.
Next year. Next
2021.
Yes.
Can we come?
Sure.
Namibia, how do you spell that?
And what are we doing in Namibia?
Namibia. Well, I haven't decided that yet. So I just started planning.
So that's the girls' senior trip then?
Yes.
So you're paying for everything for me because I've taken them on all the
Sure.
How did you pick it? How'd you choose Namibia?
I have a neighbor and a friend who has a house there. So
I'm in. I'm totally in. I don't care where it is. I don't care where it is. I don't even care. I'm just going. I'm in. Count me in.
There's only like 8 cases of coronavirus there. It's the least.
Y'all, like, I'm gonna tell you right now, it is so. This place is. It's not outside of my doors that's scary about everything that's happening right now. This is what's scary about what's happening right now. Is that
turn this off?
I do, but I also have people that I guess I'm not that important. Maybe I should turn it off. You're right. I have people that are in the hospital right now, though. Like, if I don't respond to their mom or their cousin or their auntie, like, doesn't that make me look like an asshole? I mean, a bad person. Beep. Sorry.
You're editing already.
Oh, that's right.
What's the difference?
You can always do a 1 hour a day where you go on and you get all your messages and respond and then ignore the rest. And then you're not an asshole because you contacted them in a day.
Just so crazy. You're right. Okay, before I leave, because yet again we're on another two hour movie. Girls. So Kirsten and Emma and Caitlin who've So I have to go outside tomorrow, Kirsten, with peroxide or lemon juice or a mixture of both, and bleach my hair, and then the next day put the pink in. Is that truth, Kirsten?
Yeah, I mean, I've dyed it the same day before, but I've also used bleaches that are meant to be used like with a hair dye. Yeah.
Okay, number one, that's not happening with my hair. So,
but my biggest tip is if you don't have like one of those brushes that the hairdressers use, which I'm assuming you don't. No, but I know you have the bottle of hair dye. Do you have a brush?
This is all I got.
Okay, use a toothbrush. It gets in the hair really well. So it's like soft
toothbrush.
Bristles. What?
A clean toothbrush.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Like toothbrush.
In college, I had my one toothbrush. I was like, you know what? I want to dye my hair right now. And I cleaned it a little bit, and then I just went to town with that puppy. So like, as long as it's clean, I had to buy a new toothbrush, but yeah. But I wanted to dye my hair then, and I could wait to buy the toothbrush.
So what you're really saying, the underlying hum of all of this is, Tia, maybe you should invest in like a shampoo or conditioner that puts dye in your hair so you don't have to do all these crazy things to get your hair pink.
You can do overtone. Overtone has colors that are for brown hair, so it adds a slight tint to your hair. So it won't change the color of your hair.
Overtone was $15 more than the Octave.
Oh, well, there you go. Never mind. Overtone's right off the table.
I think your best bet, Sue, is just to get Nico to take care of you. Tell him that you need him to do this, and to either bleach part of it, dye part of it, and just see what happens.
Well, I was hoping that Fluffy would do it. Are you there, Fluffy? Fluffy, are you there?
He was there. He's ignoring.
I know. I thought that, hey, Fluffy, get into
Fluffy, you can collect the urine in the bottle and use it on your mom's head.
We don't put urine on my hair. Like I just do peroxide. So see how fluffy he is, girls? Do you see how he's like, do your hair fluffy, son.
Uh-huh.
You see how fluffy his hair is? So we're gonna do haircuts tomorrow.
Ooh.
Right. So I'm not gonna get the clipper, but I hope somebody can at least cut. Do you see how long my hair is? That's really long for me.
Are your camps still on for the summer? Do they still have soccer camp?
No one's canceled anything yet. I don't think there's no way they can do regionals. Like, how could you do regionals when Mississippi has no shelter in place right now? Arkansas has no shelter in place right now. Like, who are we gonna play? Like, everyone's gonna be sick this summer, right?
Maybe not. We don't know.
All right. Okay, I love you guys. Hey, fluffy ears in Massachusetts. I love you greatly. Dr. Todd. Todd, just accept that you have another weekend installment next week. Some of my kids are actually watching it. Okay, so some of my high schoolers are making me into memes or like doing stuff with our videos. I told them it was fine.
Send us those memes. We want to see them.
Oh my God, like they're kind of brutal, but they're mostly about me. But I'll ask them to make a Dr. Todd meme. They'll do it. Considering I'm a magic card, I'm a magic card. I'm a magic card, girls. I'm a magic card. Do you know what that means?
Gathering. That's the game, Magic the Gathering.
No, like, okay, it's like Dungeons and Dragons for this generation.
Magic the Gathering. Brandon Sanderson plays it.
Mike plays it, or he played.
Okay, does anyone know what magic cards are here in this?
That's what I've been
saying. They're telling you. They do know.
Oh, that is the magic card. Hey, okay, so I'll talk to you, Todd, since you're geeking out with me. Hey, I got a card.
Very cool.
I am pretty excited. My little geeks, they made me a card, and it's pretty great because I'm pretty powerful. Anywho, I'll see you guys. Hey, Kirsten, you didn't talk much, but I love seeing your ears.
All right.
Yeah, bye. Love you guys.
Bye.
Hey, girls, hang on for a second.
Love you.
Okay, so what's going on with you guys? I hear that you guys you're going a little crazy. Can you hear me?
Just a little bit. I mean, like, I don't like that I'm inside the whole time, but you can go outside. Like, I know, but I'm just like walking around. Like I have run a lot. Like I've been running a lot.
What? You don't even know how to run. What are you talking about? You don't know.
I go like 30 minutes and I'm running. Like I'm.
What?
Yeah.
All right. So hey, you guys wanna do yoga with me?
I've been doing yoga in the morning for like 20 or 30 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, mountain pose.
Is it just like that?
Like I think it'd be super funny if we did something like that. Like so it sounds like we're not gonna get together for spring break.
We'll see. Like it could get better.
That's why I love my brother. Let me tell you, don't tell him I said this, but that's what I love about my brother. He always gives me an outside shot on everything. I never know when he's gonna say no or yes to something. Whew.
Yeah, we still want to come, but I don't know.
We got 2 weeks.
We should have just gone down there when everything started happening. I wish. Like, we could have just done online classes.
You can still come down. You know what? In all honesty, you can still come down now. Like, but it's what you would encounter on the way down that I don't know if it's worth it. So, however y'all do it, you know, I think that I'm gonna go next week. I'm not gonna go the whole time, but I'll clean it. So whenever you get down here. Like, I definitely think that we're not going to school this summer. So if we can't travel, then we should do Fishville or something together, screw everything else. Like, this is the last summer that y'all really have if we're going to Ottawa or wherever we're going next year. So.
Yeah.
I don't know. Namibia, sorry. But, like, I don't know. It's the worst places.
You got to remember, if they go to college, they'll be more on the same schedule as you.
They've always been sort of on my schedule.
No,
they've only had July and
they've missed all of June, you know.
Well, they might have like boyfriends or girlfriends or like away programs or whatever it is they have. I can't count on it, but this Wyoming trip was going to be super wowy. So I'm so bummed. Like Old Faithful, like, oh.
Cancel anything though yet, have you?
I'm not canceling Katie, and that's another reason I wanted to talk to you. So what part of this summer would you like to plan, Katie? If we go, like, you're like planning so easy, or you and Emma were like so easy to plan. So
yeah, I said something and Dad totally like because you probably couldn't hear me, but I said something. I was like, yeah, because like a lot of people now, like right now, like they would usually be planning, but they're not.
No one has money for it.
And Dad was like, oh yeah, like no one's planning, like you're not planning. Yeah. And I was like, no, I didn't say that.
Okay, so but it's an intriguing notion. There's no reason that I have to plan everything. Besides the fact that I always start early because, you know, like I finish a project and then I want to go. So right now, all we have, like, I feel that Wyoming might be experiencing crushing coronavirus or not, like when we want to go, but we're talking about late July. And then we were going to go to Colorado.
They social distance for a living in Wyoming. Come on. There's nobody there.
I know, that's why I don't want to cancel anything. So if the kids soccer is completely canceled, don't tell Steve this, but like everything gets bigger, right?
Yeah. I mean, because if we, like, this might happen where the regents are canceled, like, you know, the tests that we have to take at the end of the year in June. Like, if that's
canceled, I hate to tell you this, they're canceled.
haven't said anything yet. They're probably gonna
Yeah.
get canceled eventually,
Honey,
but
they're- okay, so New York hasn't accepted it.
would
The
be
president of the United States just canceled all statewide testing.
really for like the end of the year. I thought that was just a rumor though. I didn't think that was.
Well, New York doesn't tend to listen to the president, so they just quite might not. But I mean, I think the EOC, like what you're talking about, your tests, they probably want to get that done for the kids just because it's about future college stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So,
One.
but if that means, so that would mean that what time you'd be done?
We would if it was canceled, we would be done with school completely by like mid-June, like June 15th.
So late. That's so crappy that they make y'all test so late. Anywho, okay. Well, I know that we're not going to be able to go up to Wisconsin unless something crazy happens. Uncle Pat and Aunt Shirley, well, Uncle Pat is going a little crazy over the corona thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's old. Like, he's older than he looks. He's like, what, 65? And so, or maybe older. I don't even know how old he is. I'm making stuff up. He's even, so I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. And like Bo said, let's just see. Darn it. I do miss you guys. I was looking forward to seeing y'all so much. Anywho, okay. Hey, brother.
What?
What are you cooking tonight? More moldy ham?
Enchiladas and chicken and dumplings.
Are you doing homemade corn tortillas?
No.
We bought
Flour tortillas. I'm doing a flour version.
Are those really enchiladas if they're flour?
Yes.
All right. So girls, Katie and Emma, just pretend like we're in Wyoming this summer and you're like, I'd like to plan 3 days around Old Faithfulness. What would you choose? Where would you go? What would you stay in? What would be the attraction? Would you say?
I don't know anything that's in Wyoming. Look stuff up. Yeah, we could do some research.
So we know we're going to be in Wyoming, maybe. We might be in Colorado. Maybe, since you think planning is so easy.
There are old people, relatives in Colorado that you can't visit, so.
No, but there's young people, relatives I can.
They're susceptible too.
The Rona is just going to disappear because it's a miracle. Liberty University starts Monday, so they will be praying for us. So girls, just saying, like, the Wind River Valley is very pretty. We're going to have our camping equipment if we go. Like, don't let me stop you. Right?
We'll look up, we'll look up stuff.
I hear that Glacier National Park is really nice.
It is beautiful, kind of sparse, but beautiful.
Sparse.
It's gonna be
I like the
cold.
rocks there. Like, you don't find that, you don't walk down many creeks in the world with that kind of different colored rocks in the creek.
Yeah. Well, you'll be bringing jackets, and you'll see in Glacier, you'll see snow in June or July. So.
Yeah, I know. That would be great. Ooh, winter camping. Okay. Hey, I love you guys. Let's stay in touch. It made me very happy this week. Thank you so much. I've been very sad, so thank you. It's wonderful to see you guys.
Me too.
Love y'all.
Okay.
Bye, y'all. Miss you guys so much. Bye.